Well, it's our latest game. It's technically a sequel to Patient Zero, but it's set in our fictitious universe that we've set up. So it's slash survival horror, combat, and it's pretty much the most intense live action video game experience you're going to get at the venue. It's top secret. But October 3rd this year is we're opening night, and then it's an 8-week season.
With regards to crowdfunding, I think it's very important to keep supporters updated, keeping them engaged. We managed to hit our target early and go into production. So now we are sending out our products to everyone. So we are ahead of time. So that gives me less pressure. So I think it's a good thing to prepare before versus thinking about what to do after you raise your funds.
I think in a couple of months we'll get to a point in Singapore where people, due to the successes of projects like Quanda's and other project creators, they will realize that this is an option, and even if I don't know anything about it right now, I consider crowdfunding as an alternative to what I would typically do, and I could actually get started right away on some of the projects I care most about, whether it's $500 or $50,000.
At the end of the day, I think it was worth it. It was a great experience. I learned so much, especially about social media and about engaging the audience. Yeah, so I think it's a wonderful experience.
We definitely felt really well cared for, and I know that right up until the end, we were worried about making it across the finish line, but we all really rallied together and made it successful.
This project helps to widen and broaden knowledges about medicinal plants, traditional medicinal use, to ensure that this knowledge is becoming more sustainable.
Well, it's been an exciting 6 months. I joined on in January, and it's been exciting to really see all the innovative ideas in the United States. And I think what's really great about the United States market, it's not only a place for people with creative ideas to launch them, but it's also an opportunity for Americans to see the innovations that are occurring in Australia, in Singapore, in China. I think one of the most recent success stories that has been on the news all over recently is with Jaffa Shoots, which is kind of these grilled cheeses that are launched out of parachutes, which has been really, really exciting.
On over this, you lived in New York City. What about this when you get hungry in the middle of the night? It's a company in New York City now delivering grilled cheese by parachute.
I think it's brilliant. So you order online, you pay through PayPal.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we realized early on is that what funders really want and what creators really want beyond just the money is exposure. And so we've built up a team across the United States that has been focused around PR, focused around social media, focused on these elements to really highlight the work that you're doing. And so in January, we were actually it was just me, one person, and now we're 6 people in the United States, and we're expecting to grow even further as we get more creative projects in the United States.
Oh, well, I'm Chinese myself, so I always wanted to, being kind of keep an eye on how the Chinese crowdfunding industry is developing at that stage. So when I was recently visiting home, I kind of met a lot of interesting people and doing amazing stuff. So I think it'll be good for Pozible to be able to actually take their story outside of China and show it to the world, and also to have accessible, good design stuff coming out of China at a very affordable prices is very important as well. Yeah, so it's going very well.
We actually released the film online a couple of weeks ago, and since that's just been going off. We got Vimeo staff pick, we've been made Short of the Week, featured on a couple of amazing blogs like Laughing Squid. We were picked for Upworthy, so that's kind of really skyrocketed our views, and as of today we had 146,000 views online, so that kind of beats the festival run.
I think that the attraction of, I guess, building an audience right from the start and connecting with the people who are going to see the film right from the beginning. And people are always really excited to get involved in the process. Especially when William was doing that thing where he was posting up a photo every day, because a lot of William's photos are from the past, and there are actually a lot of people who feature in his photos are friends of Dorothy. People would, comment below on Facebook and go, oh, I remember that place where we all used to go, or I remember that person. And so I feel like for each of the campaigns, the community got really involved, and that's what I really liked about Pozible.
Originally, we just started with 2 guitars, and then Savannah remembered that she played cello when she was a kid.
I was kind of like, well, I'm not very good at guitar, so maybe I should play something else.
Bring the cello back. And we're super experienced at house concerts. We still kept our price a bit lower, a bit more achievable. We've noticed a lot of artists doing house concerts for $2,000 or whatever. I think that's too hard for people to come up with. And if you can get enough of them, you could build a tour around it. And we just said, contact us before you book this, and we'll get a date sorted, and then we lock it in.
And I've got about 5 more emails to answer today about house concert.
Oh wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, so it's really popular. It's just a matter of whether we can get those dates to those people.
And raise money. Well, it just seemed like the best way for, obviously I need customers for this business to be sustainable and for it to happen, so I thought it was much better to try and raise the money that way, using lots and lots of little support payments, basically pre-ordering the product as opposed to getting a bank loan or a traditional method of finance, with the risk associated with, if no one buys it in the end, I'll be left with this container full of sanitary pads. So it was really like, as you saw, what am I going to do with that many pads?
But I think if you have, a positive message, and you understand sort of what your values are and what your mission is, and you put that out there, and you can build on a community, and I think that really sort of helps you. In the long run, with getting brands out and getting new products out there.
Excellent.
I met Alan as a friend when I was studying in Sydney, and we actually met on a road trip driving from Sydney to Noosa. That was a really kind of a Christmas holiday sort of trip, and then we become mates, and then we kind of found our skill sets works really well together. So I'm a designer, he's kind of a back-end kind of a developer guy, so then we can kind of work together to make stuff. So that's what we did.
Oh, Alan's eating. Did you have anything to add to that, Alan?
Yeah, that's a bit of a story, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You made your project team or your co-founders in strange ways. So
that's why young people should go backpacking.
Through an Australian website called Pozible, Greenway Up raised $20,000, and if everything goes according to plan, they'll soon be on their way.
A growing number of Australians, from musicians to athletes, are now appealing to the crowd and circumventing traditional funding.
How it works, there's a Pozible campaign. If people contribute to the Pozible campaign over a month.
And it's only been made possible through public support. The project has been financed through crowdfunding, and the response has far exceeded expectations.
We got to speak to artists, we got to see where their pain points were, and we find that even emerging artists were finding it difficult to raise just the seed capital to even put on an exhibition. And that's where we've seen the model of crowdfunding, or what is now called crowdfunding.
this isn't just about our birthday, it's about everyone else. So, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Thanks, everyone!